And so at this time, we're honored to present a welcome from our host site, Mosaic Church, right here in the University District. Please welcome the pastor, the youth pastor from Mosaic at this time.
The hope of the world. I said our young people are the hope of the world. So listen, on behalf of Mosaic Church, its staff, its pastors, and all its people, we want to welcome you to our campus, and we just ask in Jesus' name that you be blessed today. God bless this event, God bless the commission, and God bless our young people. God bless you, and welcome.
Pastor, if you could come back up, we've got something for you. The district and the outreach here is phenomenal.
Oh, amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and we're for Vining Village. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Thank you. On board. Thank you. All right.
Pastor Greg, thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
And once again, it's important for the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission to include the youth voice in all their programs. Please give it up for lead participant, Fallon Benson.
The Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission is a division of the Arkansas Department of Education. There are so many advantages to the partnership in the community, especially in the area of the workforces for hosting our drive-through job fair. If you are here and in need of food services or a job, please connect with these organizations today. You can vote from October 19th until November 3rd, Election Day. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "Everybody can be great because everybody can serve." The King Commission highlights access service at all programs. If you are not registered to vote, get registered. You can even register here today. If you're not active, get active. It is our time, it is our choice. All elections matter, and so does your voice. Get out to vote.
Hey, come out that way. Well, what a great day to be out here. How's everybody? All right. I want to thank DuShun Scarbrough and his team for inviting me to be a part of this particular celebration of the Voting Rights Act. I also want to ask, who out there is registered to vote? All right. It's important that we vote. We always say that every election is it. This is real. You gotta vote. It's for your life. This one is really it. Because the way I feel, and I'm sure you feel this way, they are trying to take away our rights. And the more we register people, the more they want to fight back. So I just want you to make sure that you get out there and get registered. It's very important for the young people to be a part of this democracy and to make sure that we all vote. Right now, my office is getting out about 17,000 absentee ballots. It's important that you plan your vote. We have 3 ways to vote in Arkansas: absentee ballot, early voting, and on election day. Make sure you plan your vote. Be prepared. The lines may look long because of social distancing, but please make sure you get out there, take your chair, pack your sandwich, take some water. Just be ready to make sure you go and exercise your vote. It's very important that we do that. So I just want to say have a great day, and we're going to make sure we keep registering people. All right?
Program at our home base, the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, with Miss Vivica Fox. And so that is the last weekend to get registered to vote. And so time is short. We're almost into October. October 5th is the last day to get registered to vote. So you have about 1 week. The clock is ticking, so plan accordingly. All right. It's important for the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission to form partnerships with our law enforcement agencies to improve relationships with the community. And we are so honored today to have Chief Keith Humphrey, who is going to join us at this time. Let's give him...
Okay, program, what's up? I can't hear you. All right. Hey, listen. I want to talk about what voting means to me. For you young people who are out here, you've seen the movie Selma, and you see how the great legends of African American legends abuse they took just to have the right to vote. If for no other reason, to honor them, you need to vote. There's a movie that I'd like for y'all to watch. It's called Miss Jane Pittman. If you all haven't seen Miss Jane Pittman, you need to watch it. For you all. You need to watch it. Go to Netflix, go whatever, but you need to watch it. Let me tell you this. I wouldn't be here if it hadn't been for the city of Little Rock voting for Frank Scott Jr. I wouldn't be here because he made the decision to hire, his first hire was a police chief. And if you don't think your vote is important, ask Mayor Scott. If you don't think your vote is important, ask individuals who win sometimes by one single vote. That if people would have got out and voted, things would be different. So what I tell individuals is, if you can't complain if you don't vote. You can't talk about what anybody's doing, any politician's doing, if you don't vote. People have died for us to vote. People have been maimed for us to vote. People have lost their homes. They've lost so much to have the right to vote. And I told my girls, the minute you turn 18, you're gonna register to vote. There's no discussion about it, it's gonna happen. And my girls, my youngest girl was so excited that the first time she was able to vote was in a local election. And she was so excited. And let me tell you something, if you instill that in your kids, because it does, a vote means you matter. When you don't vote, you are minimizing your effect to make change. So all I ask you all to do is vote. I don't care who you vote for. I don't care what your political party is. Vote, and especially to my African American brothers and sisters. Y'all know better. Y'all know better. Y'all know the pain. Just watch the movies. My frat brother John Lewis. His skull was fractured just so people could vote. So it would be a dishonor to him and all the other Greek men and women who went through that. All I'm asking y'all to do is get out and vote. Take just a short, if you don't want to go on election day, go early vote, but vote. All right, Little Rock, let's go.
Thank you so much, Chief Keith Humphrey, the Little Rock Police Department. Again, it is important for the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission to work with law enforcement agencies throughout the state to build relationships. The commission has hosted several programs with law enforcement agencies, including Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, the Little Rock Police Department, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations to provide community programs. Pulaski County Sheriff Eric Higgins is a history maker. He came into the office as the first African-American sheriff in the county's history. Please welcome Sheriff Eric Higgins.
Good morning. How's everybody doing? You know, we're here talking about voting. And I'm here to tell you that I wouldn't be in this position if people did not come out and vote. It is so important. You know, I want to tell you something. If you look at the history, if you look at this country, you know, we are less than 300 years old. Right around 300 years. We're the oldest continual democracy. It hasn't been that long. And if you think about the things that people have done to fight so you have a right to vote, to march so you have a right to vote, there are people that you elect who make decisions. It's not just about going out and marching. It's not just about protesting. Those things are important. But somebody votes and makes a decision. Your legislators, your city board members, your quorum court members. It all matters. We have several elections going on right now. You look at what's going to happen. Our school district. Now we know that we've been waiting a long time to have control of the Little Rock School District again. And we have an opportunity to get out and vote and make a difference. Your vote counts. I'm here to tell you, I would not be here in this position as Pulaski County Sheriff if it wasn't for the men and women who got out and vote. You know, there are signs, you can put signs out. I had someone tell me when I was running, I'd never run for public office before. And I saw signs out of my opponent, and someone told me, signs do not vote.
Exactly.
People vote.
Yes.
It is because of people getting out and voting that you made history here in Pulaski County. You elected Terry Hollingsworth, Pulaski County Clerk, first African-American clerk in Pulaski County. It's because of your vote. You can make history again. Maybe your first time voting. Vote. Vote every chance you get. Don't take this democracy for granted. Our democracy is under attack. You need to get out and vote. I want to thank you for voting. Those who voted for me, thank you. Those who went out and voted and did not vote for me, it's voting. That's what's important. Get out and vote. Educate yourself and vote. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sheriff Higgins. Thanks again for supporting the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission. Hey, there is free food all around you. We have 2 food trucks, so we want you to take advantage of all that we have here. If you're here and you're looking for a job, we have the Arkansas Division of Workforce Services hosting our drive-through job fair, so we want you to take advantage of everything that we have. We have the clerk's office here. If you need to register to vote, we can get you taken care of. And so throughout the program, we also want to walk through history. The 1960s witnessed a revolution in voting rights in Arkansas. In 1965, Arkansas abolished the poll tax as a requirement for voting and introduced a permanent personal voter registration system. This required a free, one-off registration to vote that in most cases lasted a lifetime. Qualifying to vote became much easier, and the number of African American voters in Arkansas rose rapidly. Again, it is always our goal to highlight youth involvement and the arts. I'd like to present a group of diverse individuals who have traveled and performed in state and across the country, sharing unity, informative, and love messages through song and theater to inspire the masses. They vary from young to elders and all in between. They derive from the vision of their own founder and artistic director, actor, recording artist, Mr. Stephen One Young. Ladies and gentlemen, I present Artists United, production of We Have to Change, Vote.
To change this world.
What can we do to change this world?
We gotta make
On our side, we know in the end we're gonna win. We have to change.
More people out here, so I think we're gonna get some volume this time.
We got some volume this
The
time.
first time we was a little test drive, but I think we're gonna get it right this time.
Come on, y'all. We ready?
Hold on, Bishop!
Hey, hey,
Hold on.
hey, hey. Catch the beat. No justice, no voting,
Hey!
no voting, no voice.
What?
No voting, no justice, no voting, no voice. No voting.
Y'all about ready to learn this thing? Southern Soul meets Zydeco. So get to the dance floor, young and old. GK Soul about to show you how it go. Y'all ready? Right, 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 left, 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 right, left, bounce, bounce,
just saying. They old enough to know their ABCs. I learned my ABCs when I was 2. Check this out and do it with them if you can. Say them backwards, students. Say Jack.
Say T-Y-X-W-B-U-T-S-R-Q-B-O-N-N-L-K-J-I-H-G-L-E-E-C-B-A.
Give them a hand. Outstanding, y'all. Come on. Somebody clap. These are our babies. These are our children. These are the children that they be putting in jail 2 years, 4 years, 6 years from now if they don't have this training. They need the training. They need to know about their rights. First Amendment.
Freedom of speech, sir.
Second Amendment. Third Amendment.
No military homes at one time, sir.
Fourth Amendment.
No reason such, sir.
Please let me hear the Fifth Amendment.
Right to make sir, not cremate yourself, sir.
And let's go to that almighty 13th Amendment.
Emancipation, all slaves free, sir.
Check it out.
Sir.
Come on. Y'all love the Lord?
Yes, sir.
Oh, we stopped teaching about God. You go to school, you can't pray. You go to school, they don't want you praying. Right now, biblical scripture, see Jack.
Sir, Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now, God said, any days lie you, all evil days come not, nor years draw not. When thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them, sir.
Orange bell scripture, see Jack.
Sir,
Ephesians 6:1 and 2. Children, obey their parents in love, for this is right. Honor thy father and thy mother, was first commandment upon the serve.
Let's go to Camel Bell, that's my favorite, see Jack.
sir, Psalms 23.
Like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth his fruit in his season. His leaves also shall not wither. Whatsoever he doeth. All right. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. That's my God clap. Promised God a long time ago I'll keep him in my program. We done had some hard times. A lot of stuff come against us. But he said, Richard, just stand. Just stand. Stand for me and I'll stand for you. Look at my students. Look at my students. She gave me a chief master. That's great. That's an 8th degree black belt. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a 9th degree black belt. I'm a grand master. I am the highest rank you can get in martial arts. Miss Wright, if you would move my white belts off, please, that way. Thank you, white belts. Everybody, white belts. White belts. Look at them white belts. They hate to leave the stage. Give them a hand. Go, white belts, go. Go, white belts, go. Everybody else move up. Because I don't want people to think, well, they can recite this, they can recite that, but they can't fight. Ooh, Jesus. Front row, take a step forward, please.
Yes, sir. One, sir.
Good. Straight line.
Straight line, sir.
Straight line.
Straight line, sir.
So make me a second row.
Sir.
Check it out.
Sir.
Come here.
Sir. ACC. Sir.
Just a basic something. The bully. You know the bully's all out there. Well, we're bully proof. And ready.
Ready.
Get back, bully.
Get back, bully.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Double step back, don't fall off the stage, and key up. And bow. And move forward. Right bell, one step number 2.
Right bell, one step number 2, sir.
And ready.
Ready.
I said, bully.
I said, bully.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
And cross the left arm, step back in your key out. And bow. Move back up, please. Hurry up, clap your hands. Move back up to the front line.
Yes, sir.
Move up to the white line.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. And white belt, one step number 3.
Right bell, one step number 3, sir.
Trudy.
Sir.
And cross the left arm, step back and say, I said, bully.
I said, bully.
Get back, Jack.
Get back, Jack.
And cross the left arm, double step back, your key out. And bow. And teddy up.
Sir.
Connect.
College bell, sir. ACC.
Trudy, you in the fight. I want white belt, one step number 1. White belt, one step number 2. White belt, one step number 3. Trudy.
Sir.
Work it now, work it. You in the fight. See, Jack.
Sir. Right. Get back, bully. Leave me alone. Get out.
Go. Too slow. Get it.
I said, bully, get it. I said, get out.
And bow. Teddy up. Connect.
ACC.
Good, everybody off the stage. So for my brown belt, stand up.
Yes, sir.
You stay on the stage, you move back, sir. Off the stage, guys.
Yes, sir.
Everybody else move forward.
Yes, sir.
And teddy up.
Sir.
Connect.
College bell, sir. ACC.
Good job. And I need Carlos, you move back. And move back. And Trumita.
Sir.
White belt form, then orange belt form. And see Jack.
Sir. Ready, step, hold and first one, and Frankie, and logo.
These are series of movements systematically put together to look like a series of fight or death. They're fighting two guys, one in front and one in back. Harder, faster, harder guys, yeah. And Barrow. Very good. Orange belt form and see Jack. Come on, hard. Now they're fighting five guys. Round kick, down, and good block, blocking, and block, punch, and look at him, get nasty with it, and hit him, there you go. You gotta hurt him, kids, gotta hurt him. Come on, kids, gotta hurt him, come on, Carlos, get it. Come on, man, come on, Carlos, 17 low, 18 high, turn.
23.
And Barrow, and Chayette, and Kunang.
ATC.
Very good. You guys move back for me. I hope we got time. I'm not taking too much of your time, and I really don't mean to bore you, but we're going to break some boards for you real quick. Yes, come on. Little Joyce, come on, baby. Come hold this thing for me. I hope I get enough time to show y'all how to take a gun away from somebody. I really want to show you that, but I might not get a chance to. We're going to try it. Where you at, baby? Come on, take your time.
All right, y'all, put it down.
Down.
He missed that. Did y'all see that?
So that, sir. Come on, ma'am. Over here. This is Zaya McCormick Bay. She's going to break with an elbow strike and a number 3 side kick. This is 1-inch board. It represents the small bones in the body. So this means she could break your rib bone, collarbone, finger bone, all those small bones. Ready, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right, no ice cream for you if you don't break it. Elbow strike, then side kick. Turn it out!
Sir.
Come here!
College bound, sir. ACC.
Show them how bad you are.
Sir. Come on, baby.
Strong, fast, one time. Bam! Now kick right in here. Well, that's my hand, that's my hand. Side kick in the middle. Good job. Y'all give me a hand? Put that over there. Zai, you up? Yes, sir. Zai's gonna do a side kick.
Sir.
Zai's gonna break 2 boards. That represent. Wait. Come on. 2 boards together represent the large bones in the body. Chest bone, legs bones, backbone. You can break anything on the dude. You can break this. Help him hold. Ma'am, come help me hold. Get on the side of it, ma'am. You gonna break him?
Yes, sir.
Break him. Elbow strike, then side.
Come on, baby.
Bow to the other.
Sir.
Come here.
College bound, sir. ATC.
No ice cream you can't break.
Yes, sir.
Come on with it.
Get it with the elbow.
Bam.
Okay?
It's all right.
Hit it again. Gotta hold it, guys.
Yes, sir.
Bam. Good.
Yes.
Side kick. Come on.
Yes.
There we go.
Bam.
Good.
Come on with it.
Get him. Bam. Good job.
Good job.
All right. Zach, come over and hold. We're going to bring up Mr. Robert Collier.
Sir.
Mr. Robert Collier going to do a number 1 or a number 3 side kick, but we're not going to do 1 board. We're not going to do 2 boards. We're not even going to do 3 boards. We're going to set him up. He doesn't know this. We're going to do 4 boards.
Come on, Robert. Come on, Robert. You can do it.
quick, sir.
Say.
Yes, we can.
Yeah.
Come on, Robert.
Get out yourself.
Come on, Robert.
Yeah.
Get out yourself.
Yeah.
Get in here.
Come on, Robert. You can do it.
Yeah.
Come on, Robert.
Flex your toes.
Come on, Robert.
Get out yourself. Good, good. One more time.
Come on, Rob. You can do it.
Good, good. We'll go with 3.
That's all right. Come on, you can do it. Come on, nephew.
Take your pants and drawers off. Give it to him. You're still alive. But if this guy's gonna pull that trigger, I'd rather be me than you. Simple as that, but I'm gonna show you. My hands is up because I'm trying to plead. I don't want this to happen. I don't want to die. I got 15 kids and 8 wives, so I don't want to die. I got child support. Brother, I don't want to die. But if I have to move, I'm going to move my body this way as I move his hand that way. So that's a simultaneous, the same move. But I'm going to do a wrist lock in the same token. Watch again, real slow. If I tie it, you tie. Wrist lock, turn, down, boom. Fast, and that's one. Hold it right here. Yes, sir. And I can take the gun this way. Anybody ever held a real gun before? No, it's pretty heavy. If your finger get caught up in that trigger, that hurts. I'm pointing it at him. Twist it. Take him down. Okay. Yes, sir. Real fast with that one. Yes, sir. Check. Sir. Come here.
That's what I said.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
St. John, make some noise as the few of us out here. And to my wife and to my kids. Listen, it was on August the 28th, 1963, when it was the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, also known as the March on Washington. That great march was held on that Wednesday, on that hot day, and the purpose of the march was to advocate for the civil and economic rights of African Americans. Listen, it is an honor to be able to vote, to be able to cast our vote because of so many who have went on and paved the way before us to vote.
Laura Brunson, and this is Kendrell Collins, and we co-founded an organization called New Arkansas Coalition, and we are a nonpartisan group that wants to create a more accountable, a more equitable, and more just Arkansas. So Kendrell is going to tell you about a virtual town hall series that we have been doing and that we have upcoming.
So we have been doing a series of virtual events online on Facebook. Each one has been on a particular aspect of our community. We've been talking about the education system. Right now we're talking about voter education. This upcoming Tuesday at 7 o'clock from 7 to 8. If you want to log on Facebook and join us in a conversation, we have a series of panelists. If you also want to learn some more, we'll be over there at the white table by the white Cadillac, and you can talk to us. Thank you.
Who's in charge of the girl? Who's in charge of the girl?
I'm in charge of the girls. Clock the hair, clock the mug, clock the nails, clock my skirt. You better get into it. Clock the bag, clock the shoes. Now punch the clock, it's time to work, 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 work. I came to work, I'm here to work. I told y'all I was a professional. Work, I came to work, I'm here to work. See, I am a professional. Professional.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
right, let's give them another round of applause. Arkansas Department of Education. At this time, we're pleased to welcome Ms. Juliana Grantham for commemorative remarks.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Julie, and I'm really happy to be out here today. So, we are 38 days away from determining the next 4 years. So, you have heard time and time again that there is no other election like 2020 election. In 2016, only 58% of registered U.S. voters voted. We have got to raise those statistics, and I am here to encourage all of you to get out to vote. You vote to elect the person you'd like to make a difference. If you like certain leaders and dislike others, it is your power to get them out by voting. Get acquainted with what you care about. Is it healthcare, climate change, basic human rights? You want to vote for issues and a candidate who is most in alignment with your values so that you can vote out the ones that aren't. And you have several options. Excuse me. So you have several options. I strongly advocate for early voting, which is Monday, October 19th. You can also mail in your ballot, but you have to be sure that you read the instructions thoroughly or your vote will not count. Or you can go straight to the polls on Tuesday, November 3rd. And it's hard to be heard if you don't speak up. And you can't tell somebody you care about them, but vote for someone who will hurt them. Your vote not only impacts your life, but it strongly impacts the lives of the vulnerable and the oppressed populations. I encourage you all to show up. Show up for the ones you love, and show up to the polls this upcoming election. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Juliana. Again, please like us on Facebook and don't forget to tag us in all of your photos. I'm Tiffany Pettis with the Arkansas Martin Luther for health, education, housing, reform, and regulation of banks and corporations. And what better way can we play a significant role in government than by exercising our right to vote? The Poor People's Campaign demanded economic and human rights for poor Americans of diverse backgrounds. After presenting an organized set of demands to Congress and executive agencies, participants set up a 3,000-person protest camp on the Washington Mall where they stayed for 6 weeks in the spring of 1968. The Poor People's Campaign was motivated by a desire for economic justice, the idea that all people should have what they need to live. We would like to thank our partners today who serve diverse populations. We'd like to thank Mosaic Church, Vining Village, Rock Region Metro, the Arkansas Division of Workforce Services, hosting a drive-through job fair today, and of course our media partners, Power 92, the Praise Network, and the legendary KOKY and Feed First USA. Let's give them all a round of applause. At this time, please welcome Ms. Diane Curry, President of the Little Rock branch of the NAACP.
But I'm just saying greetings today and this month in 2020 in November is one of the most important dates we have. I would be remiss if I didn't state the concern that we have about injustices in our communities. And that's true, especially with what happened with Breonna Taylor's case thus far. We have to pull together as a community and fight for the common causes. But first of all, young people, I won't say old people, but I'll say seasoned people. We got to make sure we're registered to vote. If you're not registered to vote, you can go over to the NAACP table right over here. We have all of the online opportunities for you. You can sign up, take a paper, we'll make sure you turn it in. Every vote counts, guys. Because if you don't vote, guess what? You get what you don't want. So I encourage each one of you to make sure that you're registered, your parents are registered, your grandparents. Make sure that you go early vote. Do y'all know when early vote starts? Early vote starts October 19th. Can y'all repeat? October 19th. Go and early vote. I want to share at least one site that you can go to right now, and you can find out where all of your polling places are. And that's our Pulaski County site, www.pulaskiclerk.com elections. You can go to that site. It will give you all of the polling sites for early vote. It will also let you know what districts you are from. School board. Guys, we have a school board election this year for the first time in 5.5 years. Do you know who your representative would be? Guys, you need to check that out because that's important. Those zones were redrawn. So I encourage you to go to your www.pulaskiclerk.com. It will give you all of the pertinent information on why and where you should go vote and what position, who your representative is, who your JP is, who your county clerk, your Pulaski County Sheriff.
Good morning, good afternoon at this point. My name is Walter Washington, and I'm an advocate for home ownership and everything that's involved with community development through affordable housing, neighborhood revitalization, and first-time home ownership. So before I jump into that, I want to give you a kind of a case study, so to speak. This is a real-life scenario that we can kind of all relate to, and it may be something you're familiar with. In 2015, Rick Ross released a free mixtape that included samples from many famous songs, including 50 Cent's In the Club. Now, this was just 50 Cent's song where Rick Ross was rapping over the instrumentals and hyping up his upcoming album. Well, 50 Cent didn't take too kindly to this. So in typical 50 Cent fashion, he sued Rick Ross. Well, however, the problem is that when he sued him, he was claiming that the unauthorized use of his name and voice violated his right to publicity under Connecticut common law. The only issue is that 50 Cent's agreement with his former record label, Shady Records and Aftermath Records, he didn't own a copyright interest in that track and could not sue for copyright infringement. Therefore, the court granted Rick Ross's motion for summary judgment, finding that 50 Cent had surrendered his publicity rights through the recording agreement, and therefore that right of publicity claim was forfeited. Now you're asking yourself, what does this have to do with community development through neighborhood revitalization, affordable housing, and first-time homeownership? Well, it mainly has to do with ownership in this case. Mainly because ownership, or the lack thereof, controls much of what you can and what you cannot do with something. Take community development, for example. It is a process or a concept where people work together on building the community as a whole. This could be a community where you live, where you work, where you shop, or a mixture of them all. Just imagine the amount of flexibility you can have when you have ownership of something in a community versus not having ownership. Ownership has its advantages when affecting positive changes throughout the community. But no matter the level of ownership you may have in the community, you can still play a huge role in neighborhood revitalization. The goal of neighborhood revitalization is to improve communities in a way that makes a lasting impact on the quality of the life of its residents. Start by working locally with residents and community leaders and organizations to best address the concerns address real concerns and improve the lives of the people who live in the neighborhood. Get involved as early and as often as possible. There are some easy ways that you can help, such as neighborhood cleanups, checking in with your neighbors, reporting issues to your city departments by contacting 311, helping your local schools, and more. Because strong neighborhoods are a foundation to a strong society. A society that echoes the message of the Poor People's Campaign, where Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and many others to this day demand economic and human rights for poor Americans of diverse backgrounds, a message that is motivated by a desire for economic justice. The idea that all people should have what they need to live, and at the same time, the cost of basic needs like housing, healthcare, and education have risen dramatically. And over the past 30 years, rents have gone up faster than the income in nearly every urban area of the country. In 2016, there was no state or county in the nation where someone earning the federal minimum wage could afford a 2-bedroom apartment at market rent. And only 1 in 4 of those eligible to receive federal housing assistance actually do so. Now, this has caused a structural housing crisis here in the country with 2.5 to 3.5 million people who are living in shelters, transitional housing centers, and tent cities, which is why our conversation needs to transition to the importance of affordable housing. Affordable housing has a major part in community development and neighborhood revitalization, especially since individuals and families thrive when they have a safe and stable home and a safe and stable community. Obtaining affordable housing can be a challenge for most of us. Across Arkansas, there is a shortage of rental homes affordable and available to extremely low-income households whose households are at or below the poverty guideline of 30% of their area median income. Many of these households are severely cost-burdened, spending more than half of their income on housing. Severely cost-burdened poor households are more than likely than other renters to sacrifice other necessities like healthy food and health care to pay the rent and to experience unstable housing situations like evictions. So how do we solve this problem? Well, one way is that we advocate for affordable home ownership as a key to family stability and a proven means for providing communities and families with long-term benefits, including better health outcomes, higher educational attainment, equity building, and civic engagement. And this rolls right into my final point about first-time home ownership, which is very well possible even for extremely low-income households. Throughout Arkansas, there are a plethora of household programs that make purchasing a home more affordable for low to moderate income families and individuals. And these programs are available through city, county, state, and nonprofit agencies alike. Remember what we talked about earlier when 50 Cent sued Rick Ross. Well, since 50 Cent did not own a copyright interest in the song, he could not claim that the unauthorized use of his name and voice violated his right to publicity. Much of the same can be said when comparing renting versus owning. Much of the same, I say, can be said when comparing renting versus owning. And as a renter, you may have a place to stay, but it is not yours to call your own. And with so much going on with social and economic injustice, owning a home is a great way to fight those injustices. Home ownership can offer a sense of stability, belonging to a community, and pride of ownership, along with tax deductions and equity. This is something I want you to keep in mind today, that owning a home is the #1 way most Americans build wealth, and the average net worth of a homeowner is much larger than that of a renter. And with so many methods available to develop the community through neighborhood revitalization, affordable housing, and first-time home ownership, it can be sometimes difficult to decide which methods to use. But this should be something that you decide what others choose so that together we can make a bigger impact in combating injustices. As an advocate for, along with many, I stand with you for your success, and I thank you for listening.
All right, let's give Walter Washington with the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission another hand, and he is a realtor, so for all your home buying needs, you can check with Walter right here today. Dr. King, these are his words. We're coming to Washington in a poor people's campaign. I was in Marks, Mississippi the other day, which is in Quitman County, the poorest county in the United States. And I tell you, I saw hundreds of black boys and black girls walking the streets with no shoes to wear. He decided he wanted the Poor People's Campaign to start in Marks, Mississippi because of the intense and visible economic disparity he'd seen there. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. announced the Poor People's Campaign in November of 1967, seeking a middle ground between riots on the one hand and timid supplications for justice on the other hand. Dr. King planned for an initial group of 2,000 poor people to descend on Washington, D.C. to meet with government officials to demand jobs, unemployment insurance, a fair minimum wage, and education for poor adults and children designed to improve their self-image and self-esteem. Again, the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission observes the 52nd anniversary of the Poor People's Campaign. And again, we'd like for you to take advantage of all of our vendors that we have present here today. Find the village, make sure you get a fresh box, get registered to vote, and find out about membership with the NAACP. And also, if you haven't had a chance to fill out your census paperwork, please take an opportunity to do so. The Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission is pleased to present at this time the 2020 Lead Volunteer of the Year, Kid Cody, for our special performance. Let's give him a round of applause.
Praying for hope, lying to people saying okay. Don't worry, I got some time to grow, I got something I wanna say. Really ain't even in my place, no. I'm from Arkansas on my way. I'm from Arkansas on my way, It's funny that you say that, cause I'm going up. Talking about family loyalty, no what's up. I said today, I don't see that. Pray until they come to your head, clear that. Mine is the truth, don't forget that. Oh man, really, what's the point of that? I'm seriously done with all this chit chat. First of all, some of y'all said that I could rap. Now I'm put it in a song, what's the talk about? Normally sit back and be a quiet one. Now I'm standing up, and I'm speaking up. I know y'all expect this, that's why y'all suck. I remember when I was broke, and I'm really praying for hope, Lying to people saying okay. Knowing I got some time to grow, I got something I wanna say. But it ain't even in my place, no. I'm from Arkansas on my way. I'm from Arkansas on my way, They
I gotta give DuShun Scarbrough, the commissioner, the president of the Martin Luther King Foundation. Y'all give this brother a round of applause. Come bring us out here. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? DJ, let's go. Check it out. Check. Whoa! Yeah, I don't think this is loud enough. What about this? Check. Can y'all hear me out there? Hey! King was in the house, y'all. King was in the house. Bro, let's see the girls out there. All right. The rest of the whole divine nine out there. I know y'all out there celebrating. Hey. We have some super status. Straight of fire, super camel gold. Shout out to y'all. Happy birthday, you go Virgos. Black people like you to go through their whole sign, you know what I'm saying? You don't say that sign ain't bad. What Pisces that? All right, Aquarius, we see you. Sagittarius. Aquarius. Gemini. Capricorns. There you go. Cancer, where the Cancer's at? Geminis. We up them kitchen curls. The kitchen curls. Slide, them. Lay it down, put that Vaseline on the side. Fry your hair too long. The S curl. I ain't taking my hat off right now, though. I'm not. Take it off. No. Let the wind blow through my hair. I'll show you a little piece. I don't have that poetic justice here, though. That's all gone. I done brushed it out on the side. Right. I don't have. Now I got Tupac's here. He was bald head. We changed styles. Yo, Ski. I like it. You like it? I like it. Now, I like it natural. You like it natural? Now, Tupac was here. He'd be at the same event trying to put the word out because it's promoting the vote. You know what I'm saying? It's all about vote. And I'm glad you kids are here because it's planting in your soul right now that when you become the age to vote, you know what I'm saying? You give age. It's just not about driving a car or getting your own house. It's about taking responsibility for the next generation. That's right. And the next generation and the next generation. Because we couldn't have rallies back when they was trying to vote. Trying to rock the vote back in the day. You had an event like this, you got dogs sticked on you, you got water put on you. You couldn't stand around and talk about your rights or nothing like that. You had to count jelly beans in a jar. Yeah. You believe that? How many jelly beans in a jar? It's important on all levels. A lot of people think we're just voting for the next president. Nope. We are voting on all levels, state levels, city levels, the Board of Education, for the police. We are voting on all levels of your community so you can get it back and you can grow and you can see and you ain't got to go nowhere else and say, man, I want to get out of my community. No, I want to make my community better. And that's the whole point of all of this right now. So you'll be able to say, man, because I live in LA, but I still have a house in St. Louis. I'm from St. Louis, the murder capital. Hey, we're going to change that. We're going to vote that out. We're going to vote the voters. But I still go back to my community, and I go back and I let them know I'm an example of that community. I came from the worst place, but I support the black businesses. I support the get out and vote. I support whatever goes down. Because the fact that, I'm a community builder, and I know that I was one of them kids out there one time wanting to get on stage, wanting to have the opportunity for freedom, wanting to use all the laws, just being able to read and write, just education. It ain't just about this, it's that so many been doing so much for so long, for us to be in this environment right now, and just for the backbones of my ancestors, I would be the most powerful person I could be. You know what? On that note, when it comes to education, make sure you find out who's running for the Board of Education in your community. There it is. Find out who's running on the Board of Education, especially in the inner city. Yes. Because we are getting tired of our kids not learning. Exactly. Not having a higher education. We are getting tired of them just pacifying us and just sending us on our way. Thank you. Complaining that they're not sitting still, but really not getting their attention. Really? Calling you every day, bugging you about your child, and it's because your child is probably not in the right program or not getting the right attention or
So all of that starts with you. It starts with you. You have the right to bring in better teachers in your community.
Yes, you can.
You can rid of the old and get with the new.
Change that curriculum.
Yes.
I took my son out of private school because I thought they weren't even teaching Black History, not even Black History Month. Man, what you talking about? You don't think that?
I don't think we really talk politics at the table until...
Well, when Obama was in office.
Right, exactly. You really started talking about politics at the table. And I think more now than ever, it is a conversation that you should start with your child. And you don't have to know everything. You can start off small, not knowing anything. But create the conversation.
Yes.
Who's running in your town? What are they talking about? Is it the same old, same old? How long have they been in? And have they done anything?
If you're riding around an old neighborhood or an old park or something, you're like, I wish they changed that. Why does it look like this? Why do I gotta see that? That's their job. The city council who's on that neighborhood, that's the power. That's what you don't vote.
Right.
It's your vote.
Yeah, they vote the librarians in too. Did you know you vote the library for the libraries? That's a vote as well. So if the library don't have the right books.
When I grew up, they had the bookmobile. It used to come by the block on Saturday. All you had to do was go to the corner and check out your book. You come back next Saturday, check out another book. What about that program? You know what I'm saying? The library came to you. And it was your choice. You got to just walk up the street. The candy store is right next to the bookmobile. Get your book.
That's right.
Get some candy.
To promote the vote is to get what you want.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why we're here. We got 2 planes to get here. 2 planes, trains, and automobiles. We'll walk at the easiest way. Ain't got no direct flight unless you're on Spirit, and we ain't doing that one.
Only Spirit alone. Only Spirit alone.
You realize Spirit.
Oh, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. But Bookie can.
You won't have no Spirit by the time you get here. But we really mean this, and in case you don't know, we just ain't here talking. You can Google me. I'm Joe Tully, baby. I've been around for the last 30-something years.
Cause I've been saying, Brown, you're like, Apple, you made it down to the, I like to rock my mic,
And you know, I came over to vote. I came over to rap.
A voting rap. Okay.
Can you do your problem?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I'll tell you what I'll say. See up here, we probably can do it freestyle.
All right.
Okay? And y'all gotta help us out. It's like V-O-T-E. Grab somebody and vote with me. You say V-O-T-E. Grab somebody and vote with me. V-O-T-E. Vote and spells victory. V-O-T-E. Grab somebody and vote with me. I'll touch it. I'm passing you. We got me, yo. I'm in the TikTok. Give me a rap. Tupac.
Vote with me. Tupac. Vote with me. I said V-O-T-E. Vote with me. Take your family and your friends to rock. Get out and... All right,
I ain't done the flesh.
And for those who don't know, I represent the Intelligent Black Women's Coalition, the Yo School of Hip Hop.
Yes, he does.
I teach kids how to turn A's, how to write better, how to get A's in English through hip hop. And I know with statistics, examples, facts, then dab.
Yeah, here they go.
Okay. And that's what we're going to do when we vote. We're going to make a statement and back it up by voting. That's my formula to writing. And if you take that anywhere with you, writing helps you read, reading helps you write. Get you all together, and that's just my formula. You're School of Hip Hop, the formula. You make a statement and you make a statement. I got some cash in my pocket. You got some cash? I got some cash. Are we not giving away cash right now? We are going to give away some cash, right? I think you make a statement and you back it up. You make a statement and you do what? You do what? You make a statement and
so if you say, I am beautiful, back it up by your ass. Back it up. And you back it up? But I am beautiful, I back it up. By being smart and doing my stuff. But this is good. All of that is staying on Zoom and staying.
What's your name? What's your name? Elena. You can't wait to vote, right? Why would you want to vote? Why would anyone want to vote?
Say it again, say that. To make a difference.
To make a difference? Why would you want to vote?
To have better.
I love it. Why would you want to vote?
No.
Why would you want to vote? To make a difference. Why would you want to vote?
Why do you want to vote?
If you had a chance, what would you vote for?
Freedom. Freedom.
Equality. Freedom? I like that. What would you vote for? What would you want to change?
More pudding pops. You want more
If you can change one thing, what would you change? The racism? Okay. Change the racism. I like that. What would you change? Anybody want to change anything? She'll change to have love.
Change to have love.
Love.
That's the best thing.
Anybody out there?
Because you love every day, every time you wake up.
You'll change what?
You feel love.
Change the justice system. I like that. And how old are you guys? How old are you? 15. How old are you? 6. 13.
6. Love it. 4.
How old? 8. 12. 11. 7.
And
5. Give our next generation a round of applause.
Y'all just make a difference right here. Just come up here and people see you guys. They're trying to see because you're interested. You could be anywhere else on a Saturday, but you out here making a difference and being a part of somebody
Yes, give it up.
Yes. This is a beautiful thing. It's beautiful for us. And just in case you don't know, I have a 26-year-old, I have a 17-year-old, 2 boys, and I have a 10-year-old little girl. Well, she's like pinching my butt. She's 10, but she's really 88. Drives me crazy. My first little girl. I'm saying 55, I don't know what it is, but y'all know what it is. So I've been married 19 years, in case you don't know that, my wife, you know what I'm saying? I've seen everything from popsicles to hot flashes. I'm going through it all. That's a real relationship now, you know what I'm saying? I gotta bring fans and all types of stuff in the room. That's what she gets for her birthday every day, a fan. Some flowers and a fan today, baby. Thank you. Woo! Anyway, without further ado, do we have a check? We got a check? We got DuShun. Still.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the stage.
Yes, the commissioner. The reason why we're here today.
Yes.
Black man making a difference in honor of the Martin Luther King Foundation, man.
All right. How y'all doing?
DuShun Scarbrough.
Are y'all enjoying the program? You ready to vote? Yeah! You ready to vote? Yeah! All right. Listen, we got some friends that have joined us on stage up here today, all the way from across the state, Kendrell College. Y'all give them a round of applause.
Kendrell College. Flown in all the way from across.
All right. One of my right hands who works in the office with me every day. I have an awesome team. Tiffany, raise your hand. Where's Tiffany? All right, Tiffany, better show a round of applause. Diana, where are you, Diana? Diana's acting like she's tired. She's not tired. All right,
I thought I was going to get a key to the city so I could break in here and
not with the chief out there. We thank you so much on behalf of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission for the difference you make in the women's lives that you change. Thank you for all that you do to empower women and our young people. Awesome. Oh, yo gave me a kiss. Y'all got that up? Do it again. Oh, I need a moment. All right. Yo. All right, thank you so much. Now, you guys to join me also. Something very near and dear, we're here. Hey, Hartman, who's one of our sponsors for the program. Give him a round of applause. Yay! All right, did I see Tanya Hooks out here? No, I didn't see Tanya. Okay, all right, y'all. That is Tanya. I saw Tanya. Hey, Tanya, I'll give her a round of applause.
Tanya Hook, Grandmaster Anderson! Now that is, I do that, who did that? Who did the whistle? That was awesome. Y'all do it for me again. Grandmaster Anderson! I did the whistle that time. All right, a new friend of ours, also Kevin Hunt and Miss LaShannon Spencer. Y'all give a round of applause to LaShannon. Okay, guys, at this time, I want to take the opportunity. Where's my good friend Sean Ross? I want him to help me here. Sean Ross, where are you? Come on, Sean Ross. Come on to the stage. Y'all give it up for the
Big Sean Ross. Big Sean Ross.
Sean Ross.
Yeah. Big Sean Ross. In case y'all don't know, yeah, get this problem. Sean Ross works for some of everybody, ladies and gentlemen. Vivica Fox, Master P, Romeo. And he's the real reason why Yo, myself is here with the Q's. He's a big supporter of Deshaun, man. That back man right there. His face in the background.
Let me give him space. Let me give him space.
But yeah, he does a whole lot, man, without a hand clap.
I'd like to welcome to the stage representatives from City Connection. Could you please come up, please? Y'all give them a round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, not only are we representing and recognizing the 55th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act, but we are also recognizing the 52nd anniversary of the Poor People's Campaign. Dr. Martin applause for all that they do in the community. All right, got my backup man. And I really look forward to working with them here in the future and many other endeavors. Feed First will be also on Election Day. They will be assisting the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission in feeding the individuals that are voting and will be standing in those long lines. So congratulate Feed First as you see them in our upcoming days. On behalf of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, we thank you, we salute you, and we give you a check for $500 for all that you do in the community. Y'all better hurry and catch that. Look, we're on the way out already. Thank you so much for all that you do. Feed First. Y'all give them a round of applause. All right, another friend that I see in the audience, my good friend, Colonel Nate Todd. Y'all give him a round of applause. Colonel Nate Todd. Colonel's hiding behind that mask. I didn't know who he was for a second. All right, thank you so much, Colonel, for all that you do in the community. Thank you for all that you do. I really appreciate you. All right. Do we have representatives from Canvas Community? All right, give them a round of applause as they come up. All right, thank you so much for coming out. On behalf of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, we recognize you for all that you do in the community. Thank you so much for all that you do in working with the communities to make the impact, to be able to feed the less fortunate, to be able to help clothe the less fortunate. And we appreciate you following those noble tenets espoused by Dr. King and all that you do. In all walks of life, promoting diversity and helping the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission promote social equality throughout the state of Arkansas. On behalf of the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, I'd like to take this opportunity to present to you a check of $500 to Canvas Community. Thank you so much for all the guys. Give them a round of applause. Canvas Community. Thank you so much. All right. Now, guys, before you leave, there's something I want everyone to say because we want to. I have two awesome people that have come in from a long way, and they are willing and ready to take pictures with you. We want to maintain social distancing, so I may ask that they stay on stage, and those who want to take pictures, you kind of formulate a line down here in some kind of way. I say, what do you call it? Some kind of chaos, but good chaos. to be able to make sure that we can have a good line and everyone can take pictures. So Diana, if you'll help me assist me with that, I appreciate it. A little bit about the next award and the final award that I want to give away. This is called the Mother Annie Abrams Award. Y'all give it up for the honorary Mother Annie Abrams. Is Mother Annie Abrams here? She's at the NAA. Y'all give her a round of applause. Yesterday was her birthday. Mother Annie Abrams. Tanisha, bring her to the stage for me. I want everybody to get a good look at her and give this wonderful, beautiful woman her flowers. Bring her to the stage. As I ask her to help me present this award.
All right, just to tell you a little bit about Mother Abrams' legacy. Mother Abrams is a mentor. She mentored the Little Rock Nine, and we're also celebrating the anniversary of the integration of Little Rock Central High School this weekend. And so it's always important to the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission to involve several generations in the work that we do. And so we stand on the shoulders of people like Mother Annie Abrams. And while, if you're my age and younger, you don't know what it's like to sit in the back of the bus. You don't know what it's like to go into a restaurant and ask for food, and they tell you you have to get your food in the back, or they break your plate when you leave. Or you go to a restroom and there's a colored sign. But people like
that were really timed down and not wanting the community to go forward. And to go and sit down with her and come with a strategic plan, to have that mentorship, to be able to endure and move forward, it was very much appreciative, and I thank you so much for all that you've done for me. I know yesterday you were blessed and you had a birthday. Y'all give her a round of applause. Yesterday was her birthday. She turned 89 years young. 89 years young. Thank you so much. But at this time, before I give her this award, I want Miss Abrams to, as you know, I had to meet with her and talk to her and say, you know, Mother Abrams, I want to give an award in your name. But when I give this award, there are certain criteria and there are certain expectations that one would have to have in order to receive this award. Is that right? So, I don't think I said it as intelligent or articulate, but that was pretty much what I said. But it came to terms of to give this award, she didn't want to necessarily have to give her approval, but she wanted to make sure that this particular person was honorary in these particular ways. And I'm going to let her tell you.
First thing, how many of y'all want to be 89? Well, I just have 11 years more and I'll be a century old. Say century, little ones down there, a century is 100 years old. How many want to be 100? One of the things is that when I was little, like those little children sitting down there, I only had heard of one woman to be 100 years old. I've been to 4. They raised their pork. There were no stores. And so as a result of that, they also didn't have a chance to get an education. I never thought that I would be in a place in my service that the school district that produced me would be taken away, and the people who would be running it would be people from all over the state rather than Little Rock, Arkansas. One of the things that when you live a long time, you got a lot of memories. I remember when they were at the Supreme Court deciding about affirmative action. And what I did was, I helped raise the money to send a busload of boys and men's chaperones to be there and stand out in front of the Supreme Court in Washington, D.C.
All right, y'all give it a round of applause for that. That was huge.
That was a piece of history to be there. Then the next one that was so important to me was to be at presidential inaugurals that I had worked with them long before they became presidential candidates. That's what this is all about, politics, candidates. And I knew when Bill Clinton never dreamed he'd be president, he was getting an opportunity to just go over to the Capitol and be a page. How many know what a page is over at the Capitol? Hold your hand up. Okay, you see, you don't know. I am going to make sure that, Mr. Anderson, that you submit some names for the people who are on the ballot and those who have been on the ballot and still there. I want them to select some pages. I got to know a governor, and he told me the reason why he ended up being a governor and a congressman, he was a page. A page goes over there to the Capitol and take letters, messages, glasses of water to legislators. And when you're in the presence and can listen to the legislation that's being passed that's going to impact you, that's what I want to happen. The best birthday present that you can give me, and everybody here can give me a birthday present. I want you to be able on November the 4th.
Y'all listening?
Yes, sir.
Say that these are the people that are either registered, or I made sure they got to the voting place.
That's right.
But in the meantime, don't you vote for nobody you haven't found out what they plan to do when they get to the legislature over the Capitol.
Say that, all right.
And in Washington, D.C. It's too late. And I remember when I was there, when the third woman was placed on the Supreme Court. And I was standing there just like many other times. I was standing next to two senators from the state of Massachusetts. And when they voted for that third woman to be on the Supreme Court that's there now, and she'll be there for life, just like the one that just died. But I heard a senator from Massachusetts say to the other one from Massachusetts, he said when they announced, she's got it. He said, now we got three of them. I forgot who I was, where I was, standing there in the Capitol. I slapped him upside of his head and arm and said, Mister, let me tell you one thing. I worked so hard for you when you were running for president, but I'm so damn glad you lost, because what kind of president would you be if you gonna say, now we got three of them. Now, what keeps me going is a life motto. And I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna have you say it, and then I want you to adopt it. Service is the, wait just a minute, follow instructions. I'm gonna say it all the way through so you can soak it up.
Yes, ma'am.
Service is the rent you pay to stay on God's earth. When you see me out here doing service, I'm just paying some rent so I won't be evicted from heaven. All right, now you can repeat after me. Service is the rent you pay to stay on God's earth. Because you don't want to be evicted from heaven.
Okay. All right.
O'Meara? Yes, ma'am. O'Meara? Yes, ma'am. when you have taken a busload to Atlanta to be there for Coretta Scott King's funeral and know all of them, and then go to the museum, the Martin Luther King Museum, where Martin grew up in the house. This is what made me be the woman that I am, having history. So at my house, 1925 Wood, I dedicated that house as a library and a museum. And that house has things that nobody else has. And they want my stuff in Washington, D.C., but I'll only give them some when the man that I was so proud to be there for, that's Barack Obama. When he opens his presidential center, I'll give him his stuff that I've been keeping. And that's what I want you to do. Come and become a volunteer sometime at my museum and library.
Remarks and words of encouragement. I have a question. For the right to vote, how far would you go? How far would you walk? How much would you give for your children to vote? The answers in 1965 were, I would walk to the ends of the earth. I would give everything, even my life, as many did, for the right for future generations to vote. We are the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, a division of the Arkansas Department of Education. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you, Pulaski County Sheriff's Office, Mosaic Church, Vine Village, Power 92, the Praise Network, KOKY, Arkansas Department of Human Services, and King. I'm Tiffany Pettis with the Arkansas Martin Luther King Jr. Commission, and as always, we leave you with a quote from Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and he says, I have come to see more and more that one of the most decisive steps that one can take is that little walk to the voting booth. That is an important step. Get out to vote. Have a good day. God bless.